Very good evening to everyone, and thank you so much for joining us in an exciting discussion. I really hope that you and your families are keeping safe and keeping healthy during the present times. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our guests for today. I'll just start on with it very quickly. Our first guest for today is Mr. Arun Anand. Mr. Anand is an author, columnist, and director at Innovative Solutions. He is the author of the bestseller Know About RSS and frequently shares his views and his opinions on the popular media house The Print and the news daily Hindustan Times. Very warm welcome to you, Mr. Anand. Thank you. Moving on, Mr. Anand today is in conversation with one of the most inspirational figures from around the world, a person who has set very high standards in the field of serving people and is currently running the largest kitchen in the world, feeding around 1.8 million children daily. He is a graduate of the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. He's an Eisenhower Fellow, and he has over 25 years of work experience and has been associated with leading multinationals like Philips, ABB, Cisco, eventually giving all this up in favor of serving the children of our country. It is an absolute honor to welcome the CEO of Akshay Patra, Mr. Sridhar Venkat. A very warm welcome to you, Sridhar sir. Thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you, Himanshu.
My pleasure. So, Arunji, you are most welcome to lead the session for today and take us through the inspiring journey that is with Mr. Sridhar Venkat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Himanshu. I think we are today. I moderate several talks, but it's very rare, that you actually feel when you are with somebody that we are the ones basically who do wordplay all the time, and there are certain people, who are men and women of action. So, Mr. Sridhar Venkat, I think we are blessed to have somebody like him, man of action, and uh, see, we were talking just before this conversation had begun. Me and Mr. Venkat were having a conversation about a lot of things. I think two very important things which today our audience would be looking at. One is that Akshay Patra, though it's a very familiar name, but somehow uh, the kind of work which Akshay Patra has been doing, as Himanshu said, that 1.8 million meals every day, nutritional meals, hot meals, high quality meals, served to the most marginalized sections of the society without making a fuzz about it day after day, whatever the season is, whatever the weather is, whatever the problems are. And then during COVID 19, they really, kind of upscaled the whole thing to have a flexibility of the organization that you can just turn around and accommodate a completely different kind of demand pattern. So I think it's an amazing, because very often what happens is that when the organizations become big, they become more bureaucratic than bureaucracy. In fact, that happens with most of the spiritual or the social organizations also. But I think that's another amazing dynamic feature, and should be a case study for people, uh, who want to know more about the organizational management and other things about and how to manage big operations and still remain the flexibility. I think we are blessed to have an organization like Akshay Patra in our country, and I am not aware right now that whether Akshay Patra is having operations outside India also, or similar operation by the parent body. So that also I would like Mr. Sridhar Venkat to throw some light on that. So I'll just quickly tell you the flow of the program. Um, First, Mr. Venkat will have an opening remarks, then I'll have few questions for him, and we'll try to weight the discussion through these questions and try to know as much as it is possible. Meanwhile, you can keep on posting your questions in the chat box, and I will club the questions and take up, if possible, I'll try to take the names of the people who are asking questions also. If not possible, if we have paucity of time, then we will club the questions and then I'll take up this question. But I also want to tell you, though I'm an author myself, and authors generally do not promote other authors, but I think Rashmi Bansal has written a beautiful book on Akshay Patra. People who want to know more about the operations and more about this thing, it's called God's Own Kitchen, and it's a must read, I would say. And So I will, now welcome Mr. Sridhar Venkat. So, Mr. Sridhar Venkat, आपका स्वागत है और मैं आपसे ये नहीं कह सकता आप विचार व्यक्त करें, मैं आपसे कहूँगा कि आप हमारा मार्गदर्शन करें.
So thank you, Arunji. Thank you, Himanshu, for this wonderful session. First of all, I just want to tell you what Akshaya Patra means. Akshaya Patra, many of you are aware of, is a vessel which gives unlimited food. It has mentioned Mahabharata, as many of you must be knowing. And we at Akshaya Patra are trying to do our bit with the vision that no child in India will be deprived of education because of hunger. We started very small with just 1,500 children in the year 2000. And today we feed 1.8 million children in over 12 states and 2 union territories and over 19,000 schools across the country, which is about 1.5% of India's government school going children population. As I mentioned, the vision is no child in India will be deprived of education because of hunger. And our aspiration is, many times people ask what you plan to do by 2030, 2040. So by maybe in the next 5-6 years or so, our aspiration is to reach to more and more children. But by 2040, somebody asked me this question, what do you want to do? I want to say a point here that we feel that there should not be any need for Akshaya Patra to exist after 2040. By the time, hopefully, this great nation would have conquered hunger on all fronts. So I look forward to this interaction, Narunji.
Okay, so I think that was very. See, the first thing which I want to ask is, which generally is the last question, because if anybody wants to get associated with Akshaya Patra as a volunteer, so what is the way forward? Yes. How one should go about it?
Sure. So Akshaya Patra, if I were to describe Akshaya Patra as a person, Akshaya Patra is a person whose mind is of a corporate and heart of a not-for-profit. So anyone who is very passionate about what we are doing, maybe from a corporate or from a not-for-profit or an individual or a student, can volunteer with Akshaya Patra. In fact, if someone wants to volunteer, they can visit our website, www.akshayapatra.org. There are many volunteering opportunities mentioned there. Someone who is good at writing, but I'm speaking to an author, someone who is good at writing can write about Akshaya Patra. And each one of us can take a pledge that I will talk about Akshaya Patra to 100 people in the whole year. Okay, because building awareness for an organization like this is very, very important for us. Because we do not spend much money on advertisements, on big time on communications, etc. Our expense to income ratios are in the range of 7%. So more and more volunteering help, whether it is fundraising or whether it is communications or even coming to the kitchen and doing volunteering initiatives, I think is most welcome. There are many volunteering initiatives that are possible, but I think the most important one is to spread the message, spread the mission of Akshaya Patra.
Mr. Sridhar, if you can give us a brief overview of, the expanse of the operation, which Akshaya Patra has in terms of number of meals, kitchens, what kind of kitchens, how do you do it actually, basically, because it's a mammoth, operation.
Yes.
So it's a very sensitive area, serving food, especially to children.
Yes.
So
I'll just take you back how this whole concept came up. Sometime in mid-1970s.
But first, can I just intervene? If you can just explain to our, audience or viewers, what exactly does Akshaya Patra means?
Okay, Akshaya Patra is a vessel which can give unlimited food. Okay, so in sometime in 1970s, Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of the International Institute of Krishna Consciousness, he had built a large temple in Mayapur, near Kolkata. And a big feast was served on plankton leaf to people who came. And after the big feast was served, he was resting in his apartment and he heard cries of children. And when he opened the door of the apartment, he saw stray dogs fighting with street children for leftover scraps of food. and tears rolled down from his eyes. And he said, today we have invited the Supreme Father here, and wherever Father is present, his children should not go hungry. And he gave a mandate that in a 10-mile radius, no one should go hungry. So 30 years later, this bore fruit in the form of Akshaya Patra. He started an initiative called Food for Life, and 30 years later, in the year 2000, with initiative taken by Swami Madhu Pandit Dasa, Swami Chanchalapati Dasa, and Sri Mohan Das Pai, who was at the time the director of Infosys. They all got together, and many of their friends, and Akshaya Patra was born. And why I'm touching this point is because this is related to what you asked. Okay. So when we started this in Bangalore, 5 schools, 1,500 children, many of the neighboring school principals started asking, why are you feeding only these 5 schools? Why not other schools? Right? So we started collecting applications. And one day wisdom dawned on us, and we opened the file. We saw requests for 100,000 children in Silicon Valley of East. So that gave us our first insight that if you have to solve this problem at this scale, because in India, if you solve a problem, you need to solve it at scale. So we felt that it is very important that we use technology to solve this issue. That gave birth to the first centralized kitchen infrastructure in the not-for-profit sector in our country, in Bangalore, in the ISKCON temple in Bangalore. And that's how we started scaling up. Then we built the world's largest kitchen, which is in Hubli, which has a capacity to feed 250,000 meals in a span of 6 hours. Okay, so since you're asking about the expanse of Akshaya Patra, we do generally our kitchens are 25,000 children to 50,000 children feeding capacity in single shift. These are centralized kitchens, semi-automated. Though I use the word automated, I would say there's a lot of heart in Akshaya Patra. Compassion is what that runs in Akshaya Patra. Compassion of Swami Srila Prabhupada is the one that is inspiration for all of us, including many missionaries who are associated with us, many professionals. So just to give an expanse, it took us about 12 years to reach the first cumulative billion meals served. And from there, 4.5 years to reach the second cumulative billion meals served. So the second cumulative billion meals served was commemorated by the Honorable then President of India, Shri Pranab Mukherjee. And then early last year, we served cumulatively the 3rd billion meal. And this was commemorated by the Honorable Prime Minister of India. And just want to give you an idea, typically we handle about 400 tons of food raw material every day. And in a span of 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours, 1.8 million children, the food is cooked and fed out of our 52 kitchens in 12 states and 2 union territories.
And how do you arrange the kind of, because it requires massive expenditure. So you rely more on the corporate contributions, or do you rely more on the individual contributions, and what is the percentage in terms of,
So Arunji, Akshaya Patra, one of the reasons for it to scale up to this level is the participation of government. We are implementers of the flagship mid-day program of Union Government of India and the various state governments in partnership with them. So close to 40 to 50% of what we need comes from the government in the form of food grains and cash subsidy, okay, which adds to about 6 rupees per meal, and 9 rupees, which is so 15 rupees is a fully loaded cost of Akshaya Patra meal. 9 rupees is what we raise from corporates, trusts and foundations, individuals, philanthropists, etc. And that's how we are funded. This year, in fact, when we entered the year in March 2020, we are very close to 600 crores, out of which about 250 crores came from the government, the rest we raised.
Okay. So can you also share with us the management structure, because it's a mammoth operation, the kind of planning, the kind of execution which goes. So overall, if you look at, the the structural aspect of this whole thing,
Sure.
especially.
Since we're talking of structure, Arunji, and it's very important for any large for any organization. One of the strengths of Akshaya Patra is the confluence of missionary spirit and professionalism. Typically, when you see a small organization, it has a lot of missionary spirit, but may lack processes and systems or professionalism. When the organization becomes very big, missionary spirit takes a backstage and professionalism and processes come in. Akshaya Patra's strength has been this combination, confluence of missionary spirit and professionalism. So that's one aspect of Akshaya Patra that goes in the structure. We are run like a typical corporate, but as I mentioned to you, heart of a not-for-profit, a compassionate not-for-profit. So we have a board which has eminent people as independent trustees. We have missionary trustees, 4 of them. And then we have an audit committee. Then we have a CEO, that's me. And we have operations in different locations headed by missionaries who are fully dedicated to, they give their life for this organization. And one of the reasons for Akshaya Patra to be what it is today is this missionary spirit which these devotees bring in, and also the able support which the professionals give. So that's how we are structured. So typically, if you imagine any good, well-run corporate, all the departments you can think of is there in Akshaya Patra. So we have project management, we have quality, we have operations, we have analytics, we have IT, we have ERP, we have internal audit, project management, various initiatives are there. And all of us come with this common purpose. How do we solve the classroom hunger in this great nation?
And what has been your experience? Because, most of the people who work with the government, they have, especially in Indian context, it's nightmarish for them to work. So that is a general perception. So what has been your experience with, in terms of, and I can tell you a little bit about this thing because I was media advisor to the Union Health Minister for 2 years, from 2015 to 2016 and from 2015 beginning. So I've had a bit of, peek into, how the government system works, and being in health ministry, a lot of non-profit organizations which come and work as development partners. So to deal with that quintessential, bureaucrat, that Babu. So I'm not talking about politicians. Politicians are fine. So what has been your experience?
So let me tell you, our experience has been fantastic. In fact, if you ask me, Stanford has dissected Akshaya Patra's scaling up story in Stanford Social Innovation Review. Harvard Business School also has done case studies on Akshaya Patra. One of the reasons for Akshaya Patra to scale up is this close coordination and working with the government. That's number one. And wherever we have gone, whether it's a chief minister or bureaucrat, they have welcomed us and they have always supported us. So our experience has been very, very good. So and even if there are certain challenges, you may get some challenges, we get escalated or we have taken up with them and reasoned it out with them. I think these challenges have got solved.
Okay. And we have a very interesting, though we have decided that we'll take the questions a little bit later, but I think we have a very interesting question from, I want to take it up because it's related to what we have been talking about, Mr. Vivek Satyamurthy. So he's asking, what is the funding mechanism of this amazing NGO which you have discussed? And I'm sure they are the BBC Global Food Champion Awardee last year. How do they feel being globally recognized? Also, are they serving in US and UK? This is the question which I had asked earlier also. Yeah.
So we feel very humbled having got several awards in the last many years since inception, including the Nikkei Asia Prize, the BBC Global Food Champion of the Year Award, CNBC Best Entrepreneurship Award, Social Enterprise Award. Okay. Dr. Abdul Kalam Innovation Award. Okay. But I feel we feel more humbled. All these awards make us increase our resolve to reach out to more and more children so that we can accelerate solving of this problem which the world facing, the country faces actually. And as far as operations go, in US, we do not have an operation. We have fundraising offices in US and in Europe, of course. In UK, we are running a application operation where we are feeding 2,000 beneficiaries every day, and we'll be soon scaling it up to 20,000 beneficiaries every day.
You see, these days, no conversation is complete without talking, without having a chat on, COVID-19. So I think I would like, because I have had personal experience. I wanted to help some families here, and I was in touch with the Akshay Path people and in Delhi NCR area. So they were really very helpful and very quick, and a lot of other people also had experience. But we would like to know that what is the scale of operation? What did you actually, how
Yes.
how this the hunger was becoming a big issue, and this time it was not, it was about families and
Yes.
millions of migrant laborers. So what was your what were the activities during this
Sure.
lot of COVID-19?
So, Arunji, very important question you have asked. When this COVID struck, we are a school meal program, right? Our programs happen in government schools, so the children come to school. So when COVID struck, schools suddenly closed. There is a time when we decided that no, we should do something about it, and we have such large infrastructure available across the country. And we also got calls from the topmost officials in the government of India, and we adopted a two-pronged approach. So we started giving grocery boxes with dry rations, which can serve an adult 42 meals. Rations for 42 meals in a grocery box. And we also started giving cooked meals in kitchens. We activated about 32 of our kitchens for the cooked meal. So in all, so far, we have done 16 million servings in the last 2 months since COVID struck. And we have got phenomenal response. One interesting aspect, Arunji, I want to bring forth here is the strength of public-private partnership came to the fore when we did COVID relief. We saw bureaucrats, since we spoke about bureaucrats, we saw bureaucrats coming forward, we saw police coming forward, local administration, they all partnered with the Akshay Patra and made sure that beneficiaries get this relief.
But what is a big learning from COVID-19 for us? If we look at it from purely, providing the meals perspective, providing nutritional meal to our, because we are going, I think the battle has just begun, and it's a long drawn battle. And what is the lesson which, the non-profit organizations, other non-profit organizations, the governments, anybody who is interested with the task of, providing food, what is the lessons which can be learned?
See, a couple of lessons. One is I realized even more the importance of a meal. You know what happened, Arunji, when this COVID relief was going on, we came to know that 3 orphan girls, we are doing relief in Guwahati, in Assam. 3 orphan girls reached out to the local administration and they were without food. So our people went and gave them the grocery boxes and they had tears in their eyes, right? So importance of meal and hunger, solve hunger, I think this is one of the biggest lessons. Second is, I think the country's preparedness and the not-for-profit, the civil society's preparedness to handle a pandemic like this is extremely, extremely important. God forbid something like this doesn't come in the future, but if at all it comes, I think we should be geared up to address these issues. That's the second thing. Third is, we learned the importance of communications, working closely with the government, communicating to and fro. For example, we created a war room on WhatsApp, which had the chief secretary of the state, the director general of police, all of them on WhatsApp and taking decisions. So how quickly you turn around and take decisions, I think also it has been one of the big learnings we had.
Now coming to a little bit of this thing on a personal aspect, you have had such illustrious background in terms of getting graduated from some of the top-notch institutions and working for multinational corporations. And then what is it that motivates someone like who has a academic background like you, and a professional background like you, doing so much of well in corporate? And I think you hit you hit the ground running in Akshay Patra when you were almost at the peak of your career, when you were all set to take that big leap, or even a bigger leap, because I think 15 years ago, as we were discussing.
Yeah.
So at that time, you must have been. So what is it that motivates, a person like you?
So let me tell you what made me shift from corporates to Akshay Patra. No, I used to volunteer with Akshay Patra. So one day, and I was on a career transition from being MD of a company to getting another assignment as a chief of a company, right, or country head of a company. And I was volunteering with Akshay Patra. I was staying at the guest house of ISKCON Bangalore. And that's when Swami Madhu Pandit Dasa, who is the current chairman of Akshay Patra, he called me and he said, Sridhar, why are you building empires for others? Build for these children. So that was like a moment of calling for me, and that really inspired me. So that is one. Second is, I always believed, Arunji, that purpose in life is very important. So Akshay Patra gave me an existential purpose of life. When I got selected in Navy in my engineering days, one of the questions the Commodore asked me is, Sridhar, why you want to join the Navy? So I told him, sir, marne ke pehle kuch karke jana hai. So I feel Akshay Patra, unfortunately or fortunately, I did not join the Navy and I landed. I think purpose is very, very important, whether you're in Navy or Army or you're serving Akshay Patra. Why are you doing what you're doing? Which direction you're going? I think that's very important. I think Akshay Patra gave you the purpose, and I think it has been a fantastic journey. And when you see very happy children, in fact, I jokingly tell my wife that my weight is going up because every now and then nowadays, children come with laddus to tell that today I have become MD in orthopedics. I have become engineer. I've got this job. So that gives me a lot of elation, which, is, you can't explain that with any kind of money.
So before I move on to another question, I'll first ask the question, but then apart from that, I'll also add another question. My question is that what is your advice to, of course, everybody has a different trajectory, and then people take different, people make different choices, and people make different decisions depending on a lot of factors also. But what is your advice to young chaps who are graduating out of business schools and and who are really planning to go to corporates, and do they need to look at the option that probably at the beginning of their career itself they can come and join an organization like Akshay Patra, a number of other such organizations which would be doing social service? So should they be looking at such social organizations, or should they be looking at spending some time in the corporate, then probably having a look at that, meanwhile volunteering with these organizations? So what would be your advice on this thing? And along with that, I'll just ask the questions. There is a question from Dr. Vinay Nalva that apart from serving meals to so many people, were there any other activities also which were associated with whom Akshay Patra was associated with as far as providing relief during COVID-19 was concerned?
Sure. So any youngster who feels that feeding a child is giving back to society and he wants a platform to give back to society is most welcome to join Akshay Patra, number one. And he won't feel the difference that he is not working in a corporate, because Akshay Patra very much works like a corporate, but a compassionate corporate. Okay, so that's number one. So, so people who definitely who have experience in corporates, they are most welcome to come and work with us, because then they can share or contribute even more their learnings to Akshay Patra kind of an organization. Because as I mentioned to you, the scale is humongous. We need intelligent people. We need people who are very passionate about what they're doing and in the process learn and grow this organization. So definitely youngsters who have good values, who have the right attitude, that's something Akshaya Patra looks for. We look for two things. What's your value system? Second is, what is the attitude you bring to the table? The other things can be, taught or trained, and skill can be achieved, right? So most welcome if any youngster wants to look at us. Again, we'll be very happy. And we have a well-oiled HR organization which takes interns, takes volunteers, and can be placed in different locations. Okay. So the second question which you had, can you summarize the second question?
Yeah, the second question is that, are there any other activities also
Yes.
during COVID-19?
So Arunji, our platform, so Akshaya Patra is like a platform where the meal is the biggest flagship initiative. But we do take initiatives like, we run an initiative called Giving Every Dream a Chance.
Okay.
Where a young child also has a lot of dreams, right? So how Akshaya Patra, with the help of sponsors and donors, can help these young boys and girls to realize their dream. So we connect them to mentors. They mentor them for some time, and this helps them, giving wings to their dream, and they do very well in their life. So that's one. Second, we have partnered with Shankar Mahadevan Academy for music for these children. Okay. Then Subramaniam Academy for music. Then we also teach robotics by partnering with an organization called Just Robotics, which helps. And these kids love, 2 months back, I heard noise outside my room. So I saw a boy, navigating a robo into my room, a young school boy. And these kids, you never know when Dr. Kalam will come from these children. So Akshaya Patra keeps doing this initiative so that this can be scaled up. And this also helps us to experiment on various initiatives, which also contribute to the meal program in one sense. We also have a model school initiative where how a government school should be in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the way they handle food, in terms of teaching pedagogy, a very simple thing like a kitchen garden, a play area for government school children. These are the kind of initiatives we keep doing, but our flagship initiative is the midday meal program.
There is a question from Mr. Gagan Pal Singh. He wants to know that does Akshaya Patra also groom and mentor new social ventures, that is basically NGOs?
So we are very happy. Somebody asked us, when we innovated a roti making machine which makes 40,000 rotis per hour. Someone asked me this question: why don't you patent this? For this innovation came through a 8th grade Sardar, 8th grade educated Sardar, and our devotees worked with him and created this machine. So somebody asked me this question: why don't you patent what you guys have done? So I told them, I don't want to capitalize on hunger. More and more people copy what we are doing. We are very happy about it. So Singh Saab, we'll be very happy to share whatever knowledge we have to any not-for-profit which wants to scale up, because we have had more unlearnings than learnings. We want to share those with all of you. And we also have an academy within Akshaya Patra. As of now, it's a captive academy which focuses on operations, leadership, and fundraising. These are the 3 important components for any not-for-profit. And we'll be happy to share some of the learnings from there.
Okay. Yeah. What would be your advice to youngsters or entrepreneurs who want to start a social enterprise?
So I would say the young entrepreneur, social entrepreneur, should have a denominator mindset, in the sense, what is the extent of the problem which he or she wants to solve? That should be known, number one. Second is, stay focused on one big issue. Generally, what happens is, social entrepreneurs who are very passionate, they try to dabble on too many things. So take one thing at a time and focus on it. And at any given point of time, always uphold your values, because values Ideas create, values protect. So these are some of my learnings in running Akshaya and make sure at all points of you take care of your people. People are your biggest assets. Many times people ask me, who's your biggest stakeholder? I tell them it's not the child. It is the employee. If the employee is happy, the child will automatically be happy.
So how many people are working right now in your organization as volunteers, as you said, full-time missionaries also, and
Yes.
full-time devotees, and
Yes.
how many of them are basically?
So Arunji, there are about 7,300 employees in Akshaya Patra, including the contract staff of about 1,500 people. So about 5,800 are full-time employees who are covered by all regulatory remuneration standards. We have close to about 100 full-time missionaries who are involved in various aspects of operations and communications, fundraising, etc. And we get some of my team members come from very good backgrounds, and they've given their life to Akshaya Patra. And as far as overall organization goes, we are in 52 locations and 12 plus 12 states and 2 union territories.
And what is the biggest challenge you see you are facing in going ahead, especially in context of this COVID-19 thing? I also wanted to ask you whether the kind of challenges which you had kind of worked out, which you are going to face in future in pre-COVID-19 situation, and now after COVID-19 has happened, so you see a change in the landscape in terms of the problems which or challenges which you are going to face.
Yeah. I do see a change. I do see a strategic shift happening. Pre-COVID, one of our biggest challenge was not growth. Our biggest challenge was how do we sustainably grow Akshaya Patra. Post-COVID, I think our strategy, we need to repurpose till this COVID lasts. As I mentioned earlier, food for education, shifting to food for relief. That is the second point I want to mention. Third is, I think it's a lot of uncertainties have crept in terms of how this whole situation is going to span out. So what Akshaya Patra is trying to do, we have a well-oiled planning machinery, which is looking at various scenarios which will come out of this COVID crisis. Whether schools will start, if they start, what will happen? If they don't start, what will happen? So it's very important that uncertainties we are able to navigate. I think that is the biggest challenge which I'm seeing. Things are getting a little unpredictable, but I think we have a fantastic team of professionals and devotees who have come together and who have a resolve that we will navigate these uncertainties and win over this corona issue.
Okay. I also wanted to ask you another question. There's a very interesting question which has come up. Because most of the, and actually there are a couple of questions which they are related to CSR and so what is the kind of CSR scenario you see developing over the next, say, couple of years or in near future? And how much Akshaya Patra is going to get affected in terms of, because the corporate sector is really on a downturn. Even the government doesn't have much money now. The government has to divert a lot of money.
Yes.
So do you see financially, a tricky landscape going ahead?
It is definitely, Arunji, going to be a tricky landscape. So my suggestion would be, let me tell you how we navigated during this COVID time. In 2 months, 100,000 people supported Akshaya Patra online.
That's amazing.
1 lakh people. Okay? And that's how we were able to, and many corporates supported us, many trusts and foundations supported us. Okay? So definitely corporate donations will get impacted. I think here we need more communication with the corporates because you see, whatever may be the situation, we can't stop eating, right? Whether it is a child, whether it's a migrant labor, whether it's a rich guy, poor guy, very important that he needs 2 square meals, which are wholesome meals. So it's very important, and we are dealing with a fundamental need. So I think very important that communication is on. So I do see uncertainties, at least for the next 12 to 18 months. So one suggestion would be to broad base your support base, leverage internet, and communicate with your stakeholders more and more. I think this is a time where you communicate more and more with your employees, with your stakeholders, with the government. I think that will see us and also have a good control on costs.
Do you see the CSR budgets shrinking significantly over the next, say, a few quarters?
The priorities will change because many of the manufacturing companies, many of the large IT companies, they're also getting a hit in terms of sectors not getting revived. Right? So definitely their profits will get affected, and thereby the CSR budget will get affected. So I think this calls for truly an innovative approach in not-for-profit management. How we can use innovation in solving the problem in the COVID scenario and the post-COVID scenario. I think innovation will play a very, very important role.
Do you think that at the policy level, we need to, in post-COVID situation, we need to have a relook at, our approach towards providing, meals for children?
So Arunji, the thing is, there are about 100 million children who go to the government schooling system in our country. India has the largest school meal program, bigger than any country in the world. So it is very important that this fundamental need of these children is protected. Now, how the meal reaches them can be worked out in the form of a dry ration or in the form of a cooked meal. That can be worked out. And not-for-profits like Akshaya Patra can be leveraged for solving the migrant food issue, for solving or giving for addressing community hunger. See, that's another thing that will come up in the near future. What I'm foreseeing, very important that we leverage institutions and organizations like Akshaya Patra for solving community hunger.
So, do you have any plans, in near future to move into beyond, children, as far as providing meals is concerned or fighting hunger is concerned?
So Arunji, we will stay focused on our core strength is delivering a good meal, hot, nutritious, safe meal. And our vision has been revolving around children, but considering the current need, while keeping our focus on, we'll be happy to serve any section of the country that requires a hot, nutritious and safe meal.
Okay, and I think we are left with 2 minutes, and it was such a pleasure to have this conversation, and it was very enlightening. And I hope that the audience also enjoyed it. And then for a formal note of thanks, I'll hand it over to Himanshu.
Thank you, Arun. It's such a pleasure speaking to you.
Hello, hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Venkat, and thank you so much, Mr. Anand, for leading this discussion. Today's session was really, really, really enlightening. Mr. Venkat, it was such a pleasure having you here. I'm sure the audiences today have learned a lot from this discussion, and the work that you are doing even during these difficult times when everything is closed, when nothing seems to be moving, when the whole world is at standstill, and you still continue to do the work that you are doing is really, really, really an inspiration, not just for students, but also for professionals and for people who want to do something good in the society. So thank you so much for that, Mr. Venkat. And Mr. Anand, as always, it has been a fantastic pleasure having you here. And to everyone out there, thank you so much for joining us today. I really hope that you gained a lot from this session. We are in these difficult times. Try and help others and be happy and stay safe. Thank you so much, everyone.